Huma Abedin, once the invisible person behind the main person, opens up on her life with Weiner and Clinton. Huma Abedin had just arrived back in Washington after a fraught trip to Pakistan with Secretary of State Hillary Clinton when she got a text message from her husband. "Nothing for you to worry about," tapped out New York Congressman Anthony Weiner late that spring night in 2011. His Twitter account had been hacked, he told his wife of less than a year, and nothing for you to worry about. Yes, there was a story and a scandal that would upend Weiner's rising political career and eventually send him to prison, unravel their marriage and leave her suffering from PTSD, and contribute to Donald Trump's victory in the 2016 presidential election. At that moment, though, she figured he would handle it. After all, she had spent a dozen years by Clinton's side, through 1,000 threats of crises or controversies. A vague report about a message that her husband denied having sent was just part of an unending stream of incoming. Nothing to worry about. Until it was. After a decade of declining to comment and dodging paparazzi, Abedin told USA Today she is ready to take back her life. "I walked with so much shame for so long and I really wanted to take the power away from that," she said in an exclusive interview about her memoir, Both/and, A Life in Many Worlds, being published Tuesday by Scribner. "I walked with so much shame for so long and I really wanted to take the power away from that." In the book's 529 pages, she is unsparing about her own naivete, the depths of her husband's sexual addiction and her rage at what his actions cost. Since she was a college student who landed a White House internship and was assigned to the First Lady's office, she has been behind the scenes for headliner events, first as the discreet aide and then as the humiliated spouse. "I have been kind of the invisible person behind the main person, Hillary and then Anthony," she said. "I have been kind of the invisible person behind the main person, Hillary and then Anthony. I do feel now that if I don't tell my story, then somebody else is writing my history," she said, adding that not seizing control of her story, and understanding what had happened. "I do feel now that if I don't tell my story, then somebody else is writing my history. When does it stop hurting?" At 46, she looks every inch the breezy, confident New Yorker. She's wearing a brilliant red pantsuit and black heels, her dark hair tumbling down her back. She is no longer routinely accosted by waiting photographers when she leaves her apartment building. On the walk to the interview, she was no longer cornered by passers-by offering an opinion, often a caustic one, about her marriage or her boss. "When people do stop me on the street now," she said, "when people do stop me on the street now." What she has realized, she said, is anything that happened with me and Anthony is actually, unfortunately, not all that unusual. As it turned out, Weiner's Twitter feed hadn't been hacked. He had sent a sexually explicit photo of himself to a woman. Indeed, he would acknowledge, he had sent explicit photos to a half-dozen women over 3 years. Within weeks, he had resigned from Congress. When he ran a comeback campaign for mayor of New York 2 years later, with Abedin's blessing, stories broke that he had continued to send explicit photos, using the alias Carlos Danger. The final straw for Abedin, during the 2016 presidential campaign, the New York Post reported that he was sexting with yet another woman when his sleepy toddler son could be seen climbing onto the bed to cuddle with him. After that, there were reports Weiner had sexted a 15-year-old girl, a felony that would send him to prison. Abedin threatened a divorce in 2015 but didn't file for one until 2017, and the process is not yet fully completed. She said it would be soon.